Leftover lasagne.
Leftover lasagna.
Lasagna? No way.
It's a type of sandwich.
Some kind of gross pasta.
Leftover
Leftover
Lasagna is a
lasagna is a
podcast
podcast
hosted
by
by
my
Nitin
charge
and Tony uncle. Leftover Lasagna.
Very funny name.
Hello and welcome to Leftover Lasagne, the randomly updated podcast that's like the air conditioning in a commercial establishment. It is very blow hot, blow cold. It makes women exceedingly uncomfortable, and you look around wondering who the fuck is in control of this and realize to your horror that nobody has a clue. Ernest Hemingway once famously said, "The first draft of anything is shit." He was most likely referring to an air conditioner earnestly humming away and blasting a freeze ray directly onto his face just as he sat down in a restaurant. The alternate theory suggests that he listened to one episode of this improv based podcast that thumbs its nose at concepts like self improvement, propriety, and the idea that time is important. Away with these normative behaviors perpetrated by a capitalist society. I am Tony, the guy who makes you want to thump your nose because a punch to your face is more desirable. And joining me is the man who makes you want to pump your hose because he's so hot that he's fire. So you want to connect your hose to a fire hydrant and put out the fire. That's what I meant by he makes you want to pump your hose. God. Oh, the rejected part of this intro was he will also make you want to stump your throws because he's a keeper, jump your clothes and make him a sleeper, and hump in throws. Okay, now I see why I rejected this. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Hi, Nitin Sundar.
Now, dear listeners, you know that what you're listening is actually, part of curated, qualified content because there is other content that doesn't make this podcast. So, you're wondering that these people are just showing up and winging it, and that's why what you're listening to on this podcast sounds the way it does. You're wrong because, there is other stuff that is even worse, which you are not listening to. So, pump your hose, connect it to the keg, and get a pint of beer, but don't because the first draft of whatever you pull out might not be very good. So stay tuned. It's episode 39. Hopefully things are getting better. The flow is better now. At least that's what we'd like to believe.
We are not the first draft. We are the final dregs at the bottom of the barrel that you scrape. Right? Yeah. But the other thing Ernest Hemingway famously said is that 6-word story which is attributed to him, which is "for sale, baby shoes never worn." Right. So I think similar concept applies here. For editing Leftover Lasagne.
Never heard.
Never heard. There you go. Nitin, just before we started recording, you said we have nothing.
I have nothing. I'm bringing nothing to the table this week. Tony has come up with an idea of what this podcast might be, and he has a few talking points of his own as well. So, dear listener, if you know this podcast sounds like shit, there's only one person you can blame, not two.
But, the reason why half the audience is here right now is because we have used your thirst trap pick from winning the gold medal in Frisbee as the thumbnail for this episode.
But why?
This is your chance to tell us that you're not just a random fuckboy. You actually won a gold medal this week after spending 2 days in the scorching sun, which is why we're pumping the hose to put you out. Tell us what happened.
We had an ultimate frisbee tournament on the beach here in Dubai. It was a nice, fun tournament over 2 days, and this was a hat format tournament where teams are mixed, at random, and so you actually haven't played as a team with the people that eventually end up on your team. So we had 4 teams, and the team that I was part of, which was green team, at the end of it all, ended up winning the championship. So very happy with that. The fun thing is we are only 4 teams, so you're already into the semis, right? You're pre-selected. But on day one, during the league games, we actually ended up losing 2 out of the 3 games that we played, right? So we classified third. But then we went into the semis. We won the semis against the team that finished second, and then won the final against the team that had originally finished first on day one. So dramatic turn of events, and happy to come home with a medal for a change. Not a participation.
Well done. So, finally. So today we're talking about things that we take for granted in a normal society, which is slowly being eroded by the capitalist need to monetize every damn thing, right, and
Correct.
charge for everything. That's the broad idea. And
Yeah.
Nitin Sundar, the most shocking thing that has happened since our last episode was recorded in the middle of a war is not the end of the war itself,
Yeah.
is the end of civilization as we know it.
Yeah.
Because in my hometown of Ernakulam, there was a case filed in the consumer court. First
Yeah.
of all, that this has gone to the consumer court itself fills me with deep regret as to
And
what
it
we've
makes
become
sense
as
that
a
it went to the
society.
consumer court. But yeah, anyway, go on.
Why? Oh, because you're consuming it that way.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. You've clearly bought nothing today. Good thing you have your beard at least. Yeah. So basically, basically this guy filed a complaint saying, he ordered porotta and beef fry, but free gravy was not provided. Right.
Parotta and beef fry at an Ernakulam restaurant, which was served to him without this thing called gravy, which is just plain curry without any pieces of meat or vegetables or anything floating
Gravy,
in
yeah.
it, just plain gravy. Yeah, which is a
Plain
very
gravy. Yeah.
standard concept in all non-vegetarian South Indian restaurants, right? I don't think it's a concept anywhere else, though. Yeah,
Hello, it's basic courtesy. Wait, so like when you order dosa in a restaurant, you don't expect like sambar with it? You'll just eat
dosa.
dosa dry, is it?
That's a good point. Yeah, dosa comes with sambar and chutney as well. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
need to ask
Come
for that.
on.
And free refills
These
of
are
the of some. But is it the same thing? Yeah, I guess it's the same thing. There's an important clarification, an important distinction to make. If you
yeah.
go to a vegetarian restaurant, which is where you typically will order the dosa or the idli or whatever, it will
Uh,
be served with a variety of chutneys or at the very least one chutney, and there will be sambar, right?
yeah.
And or sometimes it might be just sambar with the idli. There might not be chutney, depending on what the restaurant is offering. The
Yeah.
distinction is sambar as a standalone item is never on the menu of any restaurant that you can pay and buy.
Why? No, it can be. So neither
It's
is
not.
gravy.
No, gravies. There are multiple different gravies, right? Chicken curry would be there. Multiple versions of chicken curry, mutton curry, egg curry, fish curry would be there on the menu of these
Yeah.
South Indian Mallu restaurants. It's only a South Indian concept, by the way. I don't think North Indian non-veg restaurants do not actually give you.
And
Yeah.
this is precisely what I'm saying, right? Is that
Mm.
the world has been turned on its head, and we are moving away from the concept of social niceties into a
Yeah.
concept of monetizing everything. This act of violence is the
Yeah.
same as if a colleague from office said, "Hey, you want to ride home?" And like they drop you, and then they're like, "Oh, that will be 350 rupees," right?
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, "What?"
Yeah.
Right, like I mean, you will pay, but you will make sure that you're never going with the same guy again, right?
Yeah.
I think how the world has changed is reflected in a quote from Mammootty, right, who basically once told the poet Balachandran Chulikad.
நான் இந்த ஊருக்காரன் இல்லையா? No, not that one.
No, he said Mammootty is obviously a Muslim actor. For those who don't know, I don't know why it needs to be called out. But anyway, it's in context where he told the poet Balachandran Chulikad, Bala, if I visited your home earlier, it would have been considered a gesture of friendship. If I do that now, the papers dub it communal harmony. Right? That
Abba.
is where we've reached as a society, where basic courtesies are not basic courtesies anymore. Right?
Yeah. By the way, when I was a kid, my family's favorite restaurant was this restaurant called Punnusami in Chennai, which is like a Chettinad restaurant with multiple branches. And the stuff we would generally go there and eat was, parotas, chili chicken and or chicken 65 and biryani. Right?
It depended on how well Mithun Sundar did in his
Exactly.
maths exam.
Exactly. Correct. Yeah. So first of all, he needed to have the basic courtesy to get decent marks so that he would go out. Now, Ponusami had this unwritten rule. It was an unwritten rule. It wasn't mentioned anywhere. You couldn't just go there and order a parota and expect the gravy to be served.
Oh wow!
But if you ordered parota and you ordered one of the dry side dish items, right, whether that was chicken 65 or chili chicken or fish fry or whatever, then you would get this unbelievable gravy, right, which they used to make in the bucket loads. Literally, they used to bring it in a bucket and pour it onto your leaf, right? I don't know what they were putting in that gravy. or maybe it's just the nostalgia of childhood, right? I have never tasted something as heavenly as the chicken gravy, the plain chicken gravy without pieces in it, that you would get for free in
Correct.
Punnuswamy, but only if you ordered a dry item without gravy to go with your
Okay,
bread.
this is
Otherwise, they
interesting.
would not serve it. Yeah.
So you're saying it is just that Kerala used to be way more kind-hearted than the normative average.
No, no. You see the case also. His complaint is that he ordered beef as well as parota. He ordered dry
Correct.
beef
True.
and parota, and he did not get the gravy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Now that is DEFCON 5. Right now things have changed. In spite of ordering meat, yes.
Let's bring in the middle tier here. Okay.
Middle tier is what you bring in if you eat too much of parota, with or without free gravy. FYI.
Middle tier here is that you are saying if he ordered plain parota, then he shouldn't have been given gravy, right? Dosa can come with sambar. Plain parota, you are saying, need not come with free gravy. But if he orders parota and beef fry, he should have been given gravy. Okay.
Absolutely. At least the Punnuswamy courtesy dictates
Yeah.
that he should have got his free gravy.
So where does biryani land here? If you order biryani, should you get free raita and mirchi ka salan or no?
I think I go back to my earlier credo. Is
Framework.
yeah, the framework is very clear. If raita and mirchi ka salan are not on the menu, I think it's fair to
Yeah.
expect them to be served for free
Oh, okay.
as an accompaniment. Yeah.
Oh, we will serve you because it's not on the menu.
It's not a menu item, so it's expected that it is just there, it is there and we will offer it. Right? Because, yeah, I mean, I want it and I can't order it, so you better just give it to me for free. That makes sense.
Let's consider the scenario that you walk into a restaurant and you order biryani and they don't give you raita. And you're like, why aren't you giving it to me? And they're like, it's not on the menu. And you're like, because it's not on the menu, you should give it to me.
It's about who initiates the exchange, basically.
The
So if
negotiation. Okay.
yeah, you get the clean and peaceful solution if the restaurant, takes the initiative and just comes and serves it to you free of cost. But the moment you ask for it, I think it becomes Schrodinger's gravy. So since you asked for it and it's not on the menu, you are not going to get it. And that's one thing leads to another, and then there's a court case in Ernakulam. But there are other
Yeah.
parts of the country where they put strange things along with biryani, right? Like they add potatoes to biryani. Kerala. It's not on any menu. It's not on any logical framework, but it makes its way. These are things that should not be on the menu. I will pay extra for biryani without potatoes added to it. Right?
Oh, this is nice. This is the next level. Okay. Level 1 is you expect courtesy gravy with parota.
Yes.
Level 2 is that no, I will charge you for it. Level 3 is I will add things that you don't want into your
Correct.
thing, and
Yeah.
to remove it, there will be a special charge. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
biryani comes with aloo, apparently.
Yeah.
For some
It's
reason.
basically like a YouTube subscription, right? Like you don't take the subscription, we are going to show you random ads. You pay us to take those ads away. Right?
Superb.
Yeah.
Potato is the ads of biryani. I think.
Makes perfect sense. I mean, one of the biggest fans of potatoes in biryani is our common friend Iman Pandey, who happens to be Bengali and also happens to be an ad tech product manager. So there you go.
Nitin.
Everything is adding up now.
I think this is the moment that shall go down in history as when Leftover Lasagne peaked. When we said potato is the ads in mutton
Absolutely.
biryani. Superb.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, but on nostalgia, right? I obviously did my schooling in Ernakulam and in 11th and
Before
12th.
you go down there, I just want to, I mean, we can't let this observation, this very obvious observation, pass by without mentioning it. Since we are talking about parotas and we are talking about the various genres, or I wouldn't say genres, the various layers associated with how a parota can be served. And this is after all leftover lasagna, which is known for the layers that we unpeel. Just say it's obvious that the parota is the humble dish that sits at the center of this storm because of the various layers of flaky maida associated with it, much like leftover lasagna. And though you brought the dosa to the discussion, it doesn't really pass muster. It doesn't even stand up as a, not even a single layer in this argument, because it is a dosa after all. It's a single layer of thin crispy flake. That's it. Yeah. Just wanted to
So
point that out.
I'll tell you the interesting thing here is in places like Todupuzha, etc. Apparently, what they serve is
Todupuzha,
very-
etc. Now, Tony assumes that people in this world know Todupuzha, etc. and other places like it also. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure.
If you've seen enough Malayalam movies, you'll know that Idukki
I-
region.
Okay.
Idukki district and Kottayam district maybe, is that not Kottayam, probably Idukki. Anyway, so they actually serve along with porotta. The free gravy is not gravy; it is sambar. I'm like, what? Okay, eat paratha with sambar. There's
Yeah.
apparently a thing because if you've seen Maheshna Pratikaram, this guy comes and says he's
Yeah.
just orders 2 paratha and he's like, Cheta, you have a beef also. And he ordered Cheta 2 beef. He was about to have his paratha with sambar. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I'm guessing that's made for the dosa, but you get it with the paratha anyway.
yeah. Sambar is like a cookies, like continuing that ad tech logic. It's like putting cookies inside a biryani. So, I'm going to mess it up completely for you now. Right? You're screwed. You loser who will not pay for the content you're consuming on the internet. I'm going to make it so bad that you're
Oh,
going
so
to just die.
this is a carrot and drumstick approach, basically.
I don't know what that means, but I seem to think I know what it
Carrot
means.
and stick, man. Carrot and stick is basically if you can either pay for
I
it
know
and get
that,
a
yeah.
superior experience. Stick is I'll make it worse for you and do this. But sambar in Kerala at least comes
Yeah.
with carrot and drumstick. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that we've explained
Perfect.
the joke and ruined
Perfect.
it for you, if you want an unexplained version of this podcast, you can pay us.
No, or go and spend 30 years of your life in Kerala so that you will know about places like Todupuzha, etc. have carrot and drumstick in their sambar, which Tony assumes the entire world knows. And he's telling me, a born Malayali who watches a reasonable number of Malayalam films, oh, you would know it if you watch Malayalam movies. Unlike the other 5,000 people listening to this podcast who are all steeped in Mallu subculture because they've all been spending their lives in Kerala.
Steeped in free
and watching-
gravy.
and potatoes. The meat and potatoes of this podcast, as they would say. Yeah.
I fervently want to give a shout out to Silver Salver restaurant in Ravipuram, where we used to go for our entrance coaching after school. And obviously, we had like 10 rupees between the two of us. It would be like shared two
Who's the
parotas.
other person?
Was my best friend at the time, Ribbon RB, who who went on later to, you know what he's doing in life. This is a very random aside, but an interesting one. Is that he went and did his PhD in Germany in rocket science, actual rocket science, and like designed multiple different robots for
Wow.
the German defense and space system. And last I spoke to him, he's left everything behind, and he's plucking grapes in an Italian vineyard because they'll let you stay for free if you like
Yeah,
do
yeah.
the chores in
Agree
that
to
vineyard.
Rismo. Yeah. Agree to Rismo. Yeah. It's a thing.
So yeah, I mean, you won't see him on LinkedIn, but what a life! I feel like this is where our
Brilliant.
So bringing it back to Silver Salver, where they would give us free gravy. And one of the times we had extra gravy, and in a moment of absolute randomness, I asked Ribbon, "What if I pour this gravy on your face now?" And he's like, "No, you wouldn't do that. Like, you're a civilized human being." I'm like, "Wait, are you daring me?" And he's like,
Do you even know me? I thought we were best friends. Are you just ribbing me?
and he's like, "No, you won't do it." And long story short, of course, I did it. Post which, I think Silver Salver might have cut out free gravy from their menu. No, they continue to give us free gravy. But this is why I said he used to be my best friend.
No, but that was the moment, dude. It's like, Thetis, who is the mother of Achilles, you know how she made him immortal, right? She dipped him in the river Styx.
Oh, this is a carrot and sticks approach.
The reason why Achilles had only one, vulnerable portion of his body, which is the Achilles heel, is because his mother held him by the ankle and the heel rather, and dipped him into the river. So all other parts of his body became immortal, except for the heel, and that's how he was killed. Just like that, Ribbon was one loser who used to go to Silver Salver after writing stupid mock cats or whatever. Until the Thetis in his life, which is Tony Sebastian, put Silver Salver gravy on his face and made his face immortal. And after that, he became a rocket scientist. It perfectly makes sense. And now he is searching for the rest of the elixir of life in grape vineyards in Germany or wherever he is right now.
Italy, yeah. Tuscany,
Italy, yeah.
I suppose. Yeah.
But this is the thing.
But
I know
yeah.
someone else who did this. It's called agri-tourismo, right? Which is agriculture tourism. You can go and live on
Oh.
a farm, and you become a farmhand, and you get everything, right? You get accommodation and food. It's something I consider doing at some stage in life. Except I then saw the process to get a Schengen visa was not was going to be equally hard anyway. So I was like, screw it. That is it.
You have to
That is
prove-
hard enough work already.
You have to prove that you have enough money to not need more money to work as a farmhand.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely.
I think the what these countries actually should do is they've made the Schengen visa process so difficult for Indian tourists who want to go to Europe that if you
Yeah.
actually pass that process and get a visa, they should actually let you go and stay for free because you've already done all the hard work. You don't have to go to a farm and do more hard work. Yeah, that's a good
Agreed.
concept. Yeah.
So just to round this up, right? You spoke of the difference between different cities. What do you get served when you go to a local bar and order a tall bottle of beer? Do you get anything for free? In Bombay, you veritably don't. In Kerala, sometimes they give you whatever is there, like kappa sometimes with chicken curry. Sometimes they give you
Banana
peanuts.
chips. Yeah.
Sometimes they give you boiled eggs. Sometimes they give you papadams. Like, what do you think? What is the optimal thing here?
Frankly, anything they give for free is very welcome. Has always been my credo.
Yeah.
I like it when they give you like a small cup of nuts, right? I really love wasabi peanuts. Some of the posher places will give you wasabi peanuts.
Wasabi peanuts, my god.
I absolutely hit the spot. Yeah. And then you
What
ask for
kind
a
of
refill.
dive bars are these, man?
Dude, okay, so since I live in Dubai is a very strange place to go out drinking, right? Okay, because it's a little like Chennai. You don't have standalone bars. That concept doesn't exist. Alcohol can only be purchased or served in a establishment that is connected to a hotel, which is the same thing
Right.
as Chennai. So, and since it's Dubai, most hotels, end up being very posh establishments. So the bars that they have also are extremely shishi high-end places, right? So, alcohol is a little expensive if you want to go out drinking. And sometimes these bars will serve you like a small cup of nuts because you're anyway paying quite through your nose literally for the beer that you're ordering. So the least they can do is give you some nuts to go with it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And hence you end up getting wasabi nuts. Yeah, not the shady dive bars. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think it's a moral failing of Kerala as a society that gravy is
I
not
agree.
given free anymore. This is where we've reached now. Next,
Yeah.
BJP wins elections. This is the moment where the slippery slope has inevitably started.
I agree, man. Yeah. Once BJP actually wins elections, what you said will happen, right? So sambar will become free and you need to pay extra, and vegetarian sambar will be offered for free with carrots and drumsticks, and you'll have to pay extra to get that removed and then pay even more to get actual chicken gravy or whatever. So you have tears to this planet.
Yeah. This is actually a great segue into our next thing because since we last spoke, not only has a war ended, but society has turned on its head, right? And speaking of edible items and BJP, the biggest
Yeah.
transformation has been Mysore Pak,
Oh,
will
yes.
now be known as Mysore
Mysore Shri. Yeah. Park Sheraton in Chennai shall hereafter be known as Shri Sharatan. There were other versions of this joke doing the rounds, right? There's this old-time popular Tamil actor called Bhagyaraj, who you might have heard of or not. I don't know.
Bhagyaraj. Okay.
People who have watched a lot of Tamil movies will know this. I cannot
Yeah.
lose a second. So Bhagyaraj, right?
Steeped in sambar. Okay.
Steeped in sambar. So Bhagyaraj, as you would expect, is spelled Bhagyaraj, right? Which normal languages which have phonetic differentiation concept have this down pat.
Oh, in Tamil it is Pakyaraj.
Pakyaraj. So Pakyaraj, depending on your mood, can be read out as Bhagyaraj or Pakyaraj. So Tams have cracked this joke saying they put a photo of Bhagyaraj and they're called, oh, this is Shri Raj. It took me ages to understand what the joke is, and then I was like, oh, that is where they're going with this. So Pakyaraj is being renamed to Shri Raj. So, yeah. Shri Raj Lassi Bar. Have you been to Shri Raj Lassi Bar? It's very famous. It's a
In Toduvura.
no, from the capital of Kerala, Dubai. Actually, Sharjah. The actual capital of Kerala is definitely Sharjah. It's Dubai would be the adjunct satellite city, like Trombay to Bombay. Yeah, and then you have the rest of Kerala, which is where Todupuzha and all, etc. I don't know where I went with that. Yeah, anyway.
I think this was prompted because Karachi Bakery, I think
Yeah.
in Hyderabad, was vandalized.
Correct. Which happens from time to time whenever there are tensions involving Pakistan. Poor guys. The only reason to vandalize Karachi Bakery is
Take a step back and explain. No, first say I'm coming back and then do. And explain what is this, like why are we vandalizing Karachi Bakery
because
and
Pakistan
renaming?
is at war with us. Yeah. So every
Yeah.
time there is some skirmish that involves India and Pakistan, some people get very angry and go after Karachi Bakery because it is named Karachi Bakery. Does it actually originate from Pakistan? No. I think the forebears of Karachi Bakery, Hyderabad being so far away from the border of Pakistan, I'm assuming the people who set it up are actually not even migrants from Pakistan. They just named it Karachi Bakery because they thought that's good for SEO and probably branding. Unfortunately, they are being subject to branding of a different kind now. But jokes apart, the only reason to take up cudgels against Karachi Bakery is because they serve that hideous biscuit inside which they put tutti fruities. Right? I mean, that is reason
If
enough.
you want Tutti Frutti removed, pay us extra.
Go to Pakistan. Yeah. कराची जाने वाली अंदरूनी मुल्क ईद मनाने के लिए टूटी फ्रूटी खा रहा है कैमरा मैन टोनी के साथ
Oh, man.
जियो टीवी के लिए
Yeah,
चांद
this is
नवाब व्हाट इज हिज नेम सॉरी चांद नवाब
officially the lowest point of Leftover Lasagne.
तो जाओ ना यार, एक मिनट गाड़ी निकल जाएगी। कराची से लोग अपनों में ईद मनाने के लिए अंदरूनी मुल्क जा रहे हैं। कैमरामैन कामिल यूसुफ के साथ चांद नवाब इंडस भड़वेंद्र साहब ने देखो और तो देखो हमारे साथ कराची से लोग अंदरूनी क्या देखो कराची से लोग अपनों में ईद मनाने अंदरूनी मुल्क जा रहे हैं। कैमरामैन कामिल यूसुफ के साथ चांद नवाब इंडस न्यूज।
Oh man. Okay,
Yeah.
so but why is Mysore Park called Mysore Park?
I don't know.
believe
Do you know? I was hoping
it
you would
actually
explain
comes from I mean, Pagam Chayal, right? Like I think the Kannada word is also like make, right? Like
it.
bake or
Nalapagam.
one of those.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It just has nothing. It has nothing to do.
It
with
has nothing to do with Pakistan. Yes.
Yeah. But the real question is
Much like Bhagyaraj, which has nothing to do with Pakistan because his name is Bhagyaraj, it's not Pakyaraj. But yeah.
but the real question is, first I want you to sing the jingle of Nisam Pak and then tell me what it's going to be called henceforth.
As people from Tamil Nadu will know, who have been steeped in Tamil culture, Pak is basically the betel nut, right? So Vetala Pak is where Vetala Pak basically means betel leaf and the nut that you have, right? The pan. So in South India, pan is called Vetala Pak. And so there are various brands of this pak that you get, which is the dried red color betel nut thing. By the way, are you a person who consumes bida? I think you are, right? I vaguely remember in Bombay, you popped some bida in your mouth and you were very surprised when I said, no, I don't have this thing.
Yeah, the occasional sweet pan, man. It's nice.
Yeah.
Not it's green and it's called Pak. What's not to like?
Oh my God. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a small paper sachet which gets given
Correct.
out at the end of weddings and stuff, right? It's like
They don't
Moon
just give you the
Meeta
sachet, they give you the leaf, right?
Oh,
And they-
okay.
yeah. So there are 3 items that go into this. I don't know why I remember all this rubbish. So there is the leaf, which is the betel leaf. Then you have limestone, which they sort of scrape on top of it. That's supposed to enhance the taste in some way, but
Calcium
very idea-
carbonate. Okay.
Something, yeah. So that limestone actually comes in small white dabbas. You know what I'm feeling right now? These are things I've not thought about for 25 years, but as I start talking, these things are coming in front of my eyes. And by the way, so this
So
connects back this.
you've not you said you've not prepared for this episode, but
My entire life was
Life.
spent preparing for this episode. Yeah. Also, by the way, this is the opposite of a segue. It's a egues because this connects back to what we were talking about. If you go to Ponusami, not only would they give you free gravy, at the end of your meal, they will also give you free bida. Right. So bida is basically pan. Bida is what
No,
they
but-
call pan. And yeah.
can you sing the jingle of Nisam Pak?
Let's first come to what Nizam Pak is, right? So there are 3 items. So there is the leaf, there is the limestone, and then there is the pak, which is the red color seeds or whatever, the granules.
Is it
that you put.
limestone or lime?
It's not lemon lime, if that's what you mean. It is it is a pink
No,
color,
as in,
hideous looking,
isn't it like
powdery.
CaOH and not CaCO3? That's what I'm asking.
It is CHUNNAMBU. It's called chunnambu. So chunnambu is lime
Calcium
primarily.
hydroxide.
It's calcium
like,
oxide.
like
Betel
slaked
quid.
lime.
Here,
Huh.
it is there. I hope.
Yeah.
Slaked lime, a normal, unslaked lime. Chunnambu, also spelled chunnambu or chuna. Chuna. You remember chuna, that famous ad? Refers to lime, primarily calcium oxide, which in its various applications,
So not-
including
not
traditional
limestone.
betel quid, whitewashing, and certain construction materials. So you can use it to build your house or to mess up your mouth. Choose your poison, guys. It's a white powder derived from calcined limestone or seashells. Right. So it is one of the key ingredients in pan, a chewed mixture of betel leaf, areca nut. Sorry, so the leaf is betel. Pak is actually areca nut. So I
Areca
stand
nut,
corrected, not betel nut. I was randomly making up shit also. And other ingredients. It's added to the pan to enhance the flavor, bind the ingredients, and help the alkaloids in the areca nut help the alkaloids in the areca nut be absorbed. So you want the alkaloids to be absorbed. So that is what enhances the flavor. So now we
It
have
is a very
explained.
basic.
Yeah, it is. PH, by the way, refers to Ponusami Hotel also. Their short form is PH. Yeah. So now we come to the third ingredient of the Bida triumvirate, which is basically areca nut, also known as Pak in Tamil. Right. Now, areca nut is available in various brands. So Nisam Pak, ARR Sugandha Pak. There are lots of multiple brands of these that were popular in Tamil Nadu. The most popular one, at least for children who watched TV back in the day, was something called Nisam Pak, right? So, finally, also a Muslim name. But Nisam Pak rose to popularity because they had this ad. Do you remember the song Black or White by Michael Jackson? Of course, you do.
Of course.
We all do.
Yeah.
And especially the last 30 seconds of the song where you have faces morphing.
The faces changing.
The faces morphing, one face morphing into another. And we had never seen something of that sort before, and it blew our mind. And as you can imagine, in the next 3 or 4 years, the movie directors like Shankar copied that and started putting it in every movie of theirs. But Nisam Pak were the pioneers after Michael Jackson. I think the second brand or the second entity in the world to use that technology to create content was Nisam Pak, because they had an ad which would go Periyavar, Siriyavar, Anevarum, Virumbidum Nisam Pak, which literally means old people, young people, everybody enjoys having Nisam Pak. And you would have
sing
the
it
face
properly, come on.
பெரியவர் சிறியவர் அனைவரும் விரும்பிடும் நிஜாம் பாக்கு நிஜாம் பாக்கு
Nisam Pak.
அன்றும் இன்றும் என்றும் தரமே நிஜாம் பாக்கு. Then, now, and always high quality Nizam Pak. That is what the second line means. I don't know why I'm translating this rubbish, but anyway. For that, first I should answer why I'm even saying this rubbish, and then we'll come to translating it. Anyway, so that Nizam Pak was very popular. So, I mean, now bringing it back to our current controversy, unfortunately, Pak shall hitherto not be known as Pak. It will be known as Shri. So, Nizam Shri.
So, but you have to change Nisam also. That's what I was getting at. It's not.
Nizam's okay. I think only see, they didn't. Karachi Bakery just got vandalized. It's not like they asked them to change the name of the bakery to, I don't know, Kodambakam Bakery or something, right? So you don't have to change Nizam. That's okay.
Hey, no. One second. What? Explain.
Only the name Pak needs to be changed. If the references to Pak have to be wiped out, not all.
No. So why was Karachi Bakery attacked?
Because they had an association.
You're
with Pak.
saying this is just the market gap here is rage rooms that need to be
Correct.
present in various Indian cities so people can take out their frustrations. Right?
Correct.
So,
That is true. Yeah.
oh, so if you were to start a rage room, you should call it like Park something. Oh, this is amazing. Like this is a great opportunity. Business idea for free. Right? Although we are anti-capitalist here, take it and go. Man.
Rage room with free parking. Yeah, that's where we are at.
பெரியவர் சிறியவர் அனைவரும் சுவைத்திடும் நிஜாம் பாக்கு அன்றும் இன்றும் என்றும் தரவே நிஜாம் பாக்கு.
Do you like the Mysore Pak? Do you like the various varieties of the Mysore Shri? I must say, sorry.
Thanks for correcting.
Mysore
I mean, I've for a long time I had been off sugar. Now I'm just getting back on it again. So yeah, I don't mind.
So glad to know that you've gotten back on the track of being healthy now.
Poison. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
I mean, It's just like a lot of ghee, right? Like lot of ghee.
Lot of ghee and lot of sugar, man.
There is
Yeah, and
there is
besan.
a dry version that you get in Kerala, which is terrible.
Correct, that hollow thing. Yeah, the hollow
Yeah.
shit. I've said this concept earlier on this podcast for sure. I keep saying it to my family. The Keralites, and I probably should include you in this, have a very, very high opinion of their products, right? So
No,
you go to Kerala, they
Kerala is
would.
terrible at desserts.
No, we'll come to that. That's a different matter. But they also have a very high opinion of whatever they make, right? So banana chips,
course,
they
yeah.
believe is God's greatest gift to mankind, only to be matched by Kerala Halva, which is like the most hideous thing after Karachi bakery biscuits that you can put in your mouth.
How are you putting chips and halwa in the same spot? Chips are amazing. Halwa sucks.
Both suck. I mean, banana chip sucks. Let's be clear. There is one valuable thing that the potato does in this world, and which is that it can get converted into the most delicious form of wafer.
You don't like tapioca chips either.
They're okay, and they're
Jackfruit
interesting.
chips.
They're different. They're okay. Yeah, they're good. But potato chips beats all of them. For variety, I would
Jackfruit
take.
chips. Actually, a packet of jackfruit chips is what Forrest Gump should have gone for, or like leftover lasagna. Leftover lasagna is like a packet of jackfruit chips. You never know if what you bite into is a good one or like a really terrible one. Like
Correct.
there's no
Sometimes-
consistency.
Yeah. Sometimes they are soft and chewy, but very sweet. Sometimes they are crisp and nice to chew into, but not necessarily tasty. They're a little
In the
salty.
same
And
packet.
then you have exactly. And then you have the other one which is super stiff, and you need to like really use your teeth to get through. So you're right about jackfruit chips there. Yeah. I don't know if I told you when I went to
Where
Kerala
are we
recently.
going?
We can leave this out if you want. When I went to Kerala recently for the snake dance thing, right? So we were there for like one night. We saw the snake dance, and next day we were riding back to Coimbatore, right? We were driving from Vattapalam, which is near Palakkad, to Coimbatore. My dad got it into his head that he has to buy banana chips and take it back home to give to all the people that he knows. So he was asking everyone. So there is a very solemn, scary ceremony going on where people are getting possessed, going into snake trances. My dad is going and secretly asking, "Where is the good chip shop over here? I need to buy chips to take back." And he ended up asking multiple local experts over there, and they all gave him like different. There is this shop near the bus stop. There is another stop on the way to on the highway. There is another shop on the way to Coimbatore. Oh, but tomorrow is Sunday. We don't know if it'll be open. But if you have it, you can go try samples and all. So we had like multiple recommendations, and me, my brother, and my cousin sister were like, "Yeah, let's just pick one shop and buy the damn banana chips and be done with it." So then we actually found one shop. We found one shop. We ended up spending like more than 45 minutes there because my dad wanted to make it like into small packets so that he could distribute it easily and all. And he was taking samples of all the different chips that they have. So we ended up buying banana chips. We bought jackfruit chips. We didn't buy halwa. Thankfully, nobody in my family abides that hideous thing, the Kerala halwa. But so much of banana chips and everything. And by the end of it, we were all fried. This was a noon, really hot day. That place didn't have any AC. It's like a regular Kerala bakery. I mean, we've spoken about it. You know the concept. Kerala and bakeries. Right? Finally, we get all our chips. There is barely any. Also, I mean, has to be said. Did I send you the photo of the jackfruit? I did, right?
Yeah, you did, of course.
From one Taravadu, one huge jackfruit. My cousin brother's Taravadu. That jackfruit alone weighed like some 35 kilos. It required two people to lift, and that is assuming those people were okay with their hand getting gooey, sticky, and fully poked by the spines of the jackfruit and all.
Yeah.
And so we were in a 7-seater car conceptually, and I was the guy relegated to the back seat. And I was like keeping a jackfruit at bay, banana chips falling all over me, and I'm driving to Coimbatore. Anyway, so all that was done. Then we came back to Dubai. All the trip was over. Me and Shruti went out to buy something else. So for the very first time, we decided to spend some time inside Lulu Mall, okay, in Dubai, and we wandered into this snack section. The banana chips, or just the chips section in Lulu Mall, is bigger than all of Vattapalam. Forget the shop we went to. It is bigger than the entire village that we were in. And then I took a video of that and sent it back to my dad and said, "You made us wait in that hideous, stupid shop for 45 minutes to buy rubbish. And look at this. This is how you actually sell banana chips."
So
I don't know why I got into this, but yeah.
no, but this is since we are doing like the throwaway section. I also want to say where I went to entrance coaching in 11th and 12th was this place called Talents India in Ravipuram, right? So it was Ribbon
So
and
you
me.
would start your day at Talents India and finish it at Silver Salver. with with gravy on Ribbon's face.
Correct. So occasionally there was a third person joining us. His name is Santosh.
Santosh used to be a frequent visitor, right, on these joints. Until one fine day, Tony Sebastian took a salver full of gravy and hurled it at Ribbon's face, much to Ribbon's chagrin. At this point, Santosh scooted out through the back door and has never been seen again.
This is one of the cases where truth is actually more interesting than fiction, right? So Santosh, in sixth standard, acted in a movie called Bharadiyam with Suresh Gopi and won the Child's Critics Award, right? But later, post Talents India, like he worked in software, he went to the US. Then just post COVID, he came back, right? And
This, by the way, is the reverse of what Thetis did to Achilles. So when you poured gravy at Ribbon's face, Ribbon's life was altered forever. But the fact that you did not bless your other friend with your beautiful spray meant that his life actually took a turn the other way, and he went from being a talented award winner to a software engineer.
he came back and he got into startups and he was like dabbling his hands into literally
getting worse.
everything, right?
It's getting
So
worse.
one of the things that he did was reminded by Leftover Lasagne listener Srikant Narayanaswamy, who pinged on the group yesterday asking Santosh, Eda, during COVID, you made some banana chips experiments. Did you get any good insights? And Santosh's response is, yeah, don't get high on your own supply. I was eating all the chips myself. And Srikant says, this is why I don't bake. And apparently Santosh got a special deep fryer. And basically I ended up having many liters of peanut oil left over. And I held a fry day party where people could bring anything over which can be covered in batter and deep fried. Okay. And the actual insight is Palampuri and deep fried Oreos were a big hit. So another startup idea for anyone who needs it.
I don't even know what to say.
So Talents India somehow produced 3 extraordinary people, all of whom ate porotta with free gravy, of whom I seem like the most normal person. Man.
Talus India, TALUS.
Talents.
Talents
Talent
India.
India.
Talents.
TALENT space SINDIA.
Scindia without a C.
Yeah. Don't
So,
ask.
it's not Madhavra Scindia, not that one. Oh, it is
I don't-
Sindhi. Like Sindhi, the
Yeah.
Sindh se. Uska naam bhi change
So-
karna padega fir. Sindh hai,
So
right?
this prof, his name is Nanda Kumar. His father-in-law actually ran a courier business called Carton Scindia. So he sort of started, he quit his job and all and decided to do this, and he named it Talent Scindia. Therefore, I don't know why. Why any of this is relevant?
That is a problem, but it is so opposite. Talent India.
So before you judge me, look at my friends.
No, I would. I know that because I know myself, so I would not judge you. So that's one of your many friends.
Oh man.
Ribbon, Santosh, and Tony walked into a silver salver. Oh my god. Yeah. Let's bring this back. If there is a back to bring it to.
So, incidentally, after all this, in 11th standard, Santosh started this band called Anomalous, of which Ribbon and I were also a part for some reason. And I distinctly remember us singing on stage its number 1 hit, which is called There is this place called the IIT.
There is this place called the IIT.
There is this place called the IIT.
Oh, there.
I hope they're ready to accept me. It's not as easy as it seems to be. The hard work is really killing me. Yeah, the IIT. No more of games, no more of TV, no more of fun activity. Okay, anyway.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Is this on YouTube? We'll link it in the show
No,
notes.
thankfully, this is
It has been
been
buried.
consigned to the dustbins of history.
Many
except
layers
for
of
the-
gravy have been poured and doused. This has been doused. Yeah.
Okay. This is like that Kamal Hassan interview that you spoke of yesterday, It is going toing in all right angles.
Yeah.
Okay. But to bring it back to things that we discovered this week, which goes against basic idea of courtesy, on this very podcast, Nitin Sundar, earlier we discussed if it is okay for you to recline your seat on airplanes anymore.
Yeah.
And you said as long as you inform people and go back, it is okay. To counter people like you, now airlines are proposing a model where
Yeah.
people
Standing
can
seats.
stand.
Yeah.
Standing seats.
This has been in the talks for a while, right? Like I remember even when I was in, I think from 10 years back, I've been reading about, standing seats are going to come. They're going to be cheaper. And it is just,
Someone from IIM Ahmedabad only must have proposed. One of your batch.
Actually, one of my juniors is working on a startup for, like intercity taxis or something. Yeah. But anyway, that's as in flying taxis. Flying taxis. Yeah.
So what's your thought on this as a podcast that has discussed not just this, but emergency exit seats and stuff like that? Like what is the metric?
For a short haul flight, I think it's a great idea, actually.
Stand, okay.
Sometimes, yeah, because see, sometimes when I take the metro trains, right, sometimes I take a metro train late in the evening to come home, and it's like a half an hour, 40-minute ride. When I get into the train, there are actually no seats, right? So I'm standing because the seats are taken, but it's not a super crowded train. Now, as the train makes its
Also,
way,
it's not flying thousands of feet in the air.
actually, that
Issues
makes
like
less.
turbulence.
You're worried about turbulence. Oh, okay, yeah. Turbulence changes the equation quite a little bit. Have you ever been in like really bad turbulence?
Right, brothers, circa a few centuries ago.
Have you been in really bad turbulence? I once was in really bad turbulence, right? Like I think I was flying from Bangalore to Pune or something for my cousin's wedding. I even remember because the event was so. And it wasn't like a highly turbulent flight or anything, but we suddenly hit like an air pocket or something, and the plane just very suddenly dropped down by, I would say, I don't know, maybe 50 feet or something. And everyone in the plane felt it, right? Things actually flew up from the whatever. They had asked us to put on our seatbelts. If people weren't wearing seatbelts, they would have probably been, like when a lift suddenly goes into free fall, you tend to do the Tom and Jerry thing where you're
Like
still.
Inception.
Like Inception. I was going for Tom and Jerry, but Inception sounds cooler. Right? This happened in Tom and Jerry, right? Like the platform falls and Tom is still hanging in the air for like a couple of seconds and then he shakes and then he starts falling down. Yeah. So that kind of thing. So my point is turbulence is bad enough when you're sitting because if you're not wearing belt, you're going to be in trouble anyway. If you're standing, does it make it better? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know what they'll do. Do they have seat belts or stand belts for these flights? That's the question to ask.
Yeah.
Where you
I
rope
think so,
yourself
yeah.
to the thing behind you. Then it's fine. Then you're safe.
I think there is a good option of combining because like airplanes have become very, very sort of frugal and I think they're short selling themselves. There is another startup idea is the opportunity to bundle this as an adventure ride, like a roller coaster, skydiving. Why not combine the two? Right? Is that you'll be literally on the edge of your seat for 2 hours, right?
You will be on the edge of your seat if you got a seat. If you got a standing seat, then you will just be on the edge. That's all.
Yeah, correct. The whole problem with amusement parks is that you need to queue up for several hours to get onto a ride sometimes.
Absolutely.
Right? So this is
Same as airplanes. Hello.
Yeah, exactly. but now you're getting a bang for your buck because the ride is like 2 hours, right? So you don't have to stand in. I feel like this is
I think you're right.
You're
You're right, actually. They're going closer and closer to actually recreating the amusement park, theme park rides because the queues are already there. It's supposed to be fun. The kids are excited, but the adults really aren't. And they're like, we'll do it because the kids want to do it. And all of that. And also, most of these theme parks have like restaurants also, right? Where you can go and get food and everything. So similarly, when you're going on an airplane, you can have various tiers here. The cheapest tier, like we said, is the standing seat, where you get edge of the seat or edge of the standing edge entertainment. Then you have the regular ones, which are just seats. Then you have the upgrade, where you pay extra for stuff like extra leg room, food. You might even get free gravy if you pay for the more expensive seats. Yeah.
Hopefully, a seat belt and flotation devices extra. Life jacket, if you
Life jacket.
land on water,
Yeah.
you have to pay for it extra.
Oh, the advantage of standing seat. You don't have to now stand up before the flight comes to a standstill. You're already standing. You're going to win that race every time, man. Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm buying,
This
man.
is
I'm
awesome.
sold on this. Yeah.
This is awesome.
Nothing alters my life as much as those 2 minutes. The flight has not yet landed where I need to stand up and secure my bags. Do you remember Steve Waugh, the cricketer? Once I think he was flying from, it was a long flight. I think they were going to the West Indies or something, and he developed deep vein thrombosis on the long flight and had
Oh,
to,
wow, okay.
which was the first time I heard about deep vein thrombosis, which is a condition that you can develop if you're sitting in a flight for a long time and not stretching your legs enough, because the blood flow gets affected, and it's a potentially fatal situation because a clot or something is somewhere in your veins and it can hit you bad. Anyway, he recovered and played later, but it was the first time I remember reading about DVT. But if you're standing, then you're not
Standing.
going to get DVT. Yeah, it's easier to stretch. You will
Nice.
stretch because, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll take it, man. I'll take it for a short haul flight, which is what I was saying, right? If
No,
I'm going,
but okay, how much cheaper should it be for you to take it?
how much ever cheaper it is, right? Like $300 and I'm in the market. Yeah.
What?
I'm cheap as shit. Imagine how many parottas you can eat for $300, dude, with free gravy. Hello, I'm in. The key
My
question
God.
here is not the price of the ticket; it's the length of the flight. If your flight is more than 1.5 hours, yeah, probably need a seat. But it's a 1 hour flight, like your, Chennai, Bangalore, and all. Gladly stand, no problem.
Stand. Okay. Good to know, man. Amazing. Okay,
You want to sit on the Chennai Bangalore flight? There's no leg room. It's so uncomfortable to sit only. Might as well stand. The person next to you will want to pee 5 minutes into the flight just as you're trying to doze. And then when you're again about to fall asleep, they'll come back after finishing their pee. By then, then you're again trying to sleep, and the aeros will come and tell you, sorry, you now need to straighten your seat, you need to fasten your seatbelt, you need to close your tray
So,
because you're about to land. And then the pilot will start muttering in your ear. So it's not like you're going to get any sleep or sit comfortably anyway. Might as well stand. So 1 hour flight.
if standing seats are allowed, everything they've told us about airplane safety is a scam. Right?
Of course it is. We knew that already.
Because they'll tell you shouldn't recline your seat during takeoff because there is some special locking mechanism in case
Correct.
of all of this. Then
You have to switch off your mobile phones because other Pakistani radar missiles will come for you. What rubbish.
everything is a scam anyways.
Yeah. There is the whole Seinfeld routine about, where they show you where the safety exits are and where no one's paying attention. But in that whole briefing that they give you, where they show you how to inflate the life jacket, and they tell you the important thing is to first inflate your own and put on your own oxygen mask, and then inflate it for your child and give your child the oxygen mask, right? But I mean, imagine you're on that plane is crashing, landing in water or something. You're trying to inflate your life jacket. You will be holding on for dear life and blowing into it like your life depended on it, right? But in the demo, you see how the lady does it. She'll put it on and she'll take that tube and go. Like, that cracks me up every time.
One second. First of all, can we go through the process here? You are first putting on an oxygen mask. Then how are you blowing anything?
I'm blowing oxygen into my life jacket. The life of the life jacket will be improved.
There is a mask on your face.
It's like filling nitrogen in your car tires. It improves the longevity of the tires. So, similarly, the life jacket will survive the crash, which will do the oxygen. Yeah. No, I think you're supposed to first, dude. How many flights have you been on? You still don't know the protocol. How useless are you?
It is one of those things. Like we are paying attention to this, right? Like terms and conditions.
Correct.
Second page of Google. All of these things.
Standing seat, all this no problem because they're not going to provide you with all of this anyway. So you just chill.
Which is more useless? Safety instructions in a flight or the credits rolling in a porn movie, right? Like no one's sticking around for this.
I've never seen the credits in the porn, so I wouldn't know. I've finished by.
Oh yeah, this is interesting.
Most people are finished. Most people are finished by then.
We haven't verified if the credits roll in a porn film. No one has done this. Like for science also. This is not basic etiquette, like waiting for credits rolling in a porn film. But speaking of airplanes and basic etiquette.
Do they have post-credit sequence? Avengers End came.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Uh, yeah.
The Dark Knight rises again.
So speaking of etiquette, planes, stuff like that, we are recording on the 27th of May. Yesterday, it was brought to our attention that Emmanuel Macron's
Correct.
partner, wife, Brigitte Macron, shoved him in the face
Yeah.
as he was exiting a plane. Right?
Yeah.
And context for those who don't know, Emmanuel Macron's wife was his school teacher. And Emmanuel Macron was the classmate of her daughter when he was 15 and she was 39, right? And
really?
they got married 13 years later when he was 28. So she's 73 now. He's whatever age he is. But basically, let's call it a very French relationship rather than casting aspersions at what this is.
Why is this in the podcast? In case you're wondering, this is leftover lasagna and macaroni is a type of pasta.
So the point being, when she was in school and he was in school, I'm guessing corporal punishment was still a thing, right? Like kids would get spanked, like there would be rulers and like raps on knuckles and stuff like that. Yeah. At what point do people stop viewing kids as kids and students as students? And when does corporal punishment stop? What is the etiquette around when someone becomes an adult? And you shouldn't be shoving them in the face, whether they're the French president or not.
Yeah.
This is the interesting question.
I think teachers are... This makes more sense. I didn't know that she was his teacher and is much older than him also. But this makes a lot of sense. I think corporal punishment as a concept, of course, is largely dwindled now, right? Even in India, you don't... The same schools that we went to where teachers used to whack the crap out of kids probably are not doing it anymore. But I think people who used to be part of that culture...
Culture. Oh, subculture, dom culture. Okay, perfect.
They are probably still stuck in that time warp. So I think those teachers still treat those students, regardless of what their ages are now, the same way that they used to. So what Mrs. Macron did perfectly makes sense. I think she continues to view him as a student of hers from those days. Doesn't matter that he is much older now and happens to be the president of a country, whatever. But in public view, gave him a shove in the face. Very cute. Nice. I like it.
Very cute.
This says it doesn't matter who you are, your teacher is still going to be strict and
somebody gonna get hurt real bad.
Real bad. Yeah.
All right. With that, I think
what amazing, brilliant.
Taken a trip around the world
with snacks on a plane.
On a plane.
Yeah. What is your favorite snack on a plane? What excites you when you get it for free on a plane? Of course, I will leave alcohol out of this. Obviously, we all get excited, but let's stick to snacks.
I don't know. Nothing gets me excited per se, but I don't mind.
I love the pack of nuts, man. Those pack of nuts where there are like 7 nuts inside it. Love it. I would prefer it if there were 17 nuts instead of 7, but nuts? 7 is better than 0.
Any nuts is fine.
Cashews, man. My biggest weakness is probably cashew nuts. If there are cashew nuts, I am going to destroy the entire pack of it in no time. I'm going to demolish it all by myself. I cannot resist cashew nuts.
Good to know, man.
Do you have any... what food can you not resist?
Biryani. This is like a death row meal question. You're saying you'd eat nuts on death row.
Right. On death row is a different matter. On death row, I would want to eat a lot of things. I wouldn't want to just eat one thing. I want to die of eating only if I'm on death row.
Death row meal is a biryani and a bottle of vodka for sure.
No mixer, just a bottle of vodka.
With Sprite, no. Dying only anyway.
The key
Sprite
question
with
is
regular sugar, not zero, not Sprite zero, because
Spritzy and ice, obviously, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course, ice. Yeah.
The key question is: are you getting free gravy with your biryani?
Sir, you requested for death row meal, but you didn't tell gravy, so it's not included. Amazing.
Also, sir, we just checked your rap sheet and it is really bad. So we have added 2 potatoes into your biryani. God die.
Perfect. See how things come around.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, this has been episode 39, I
Yeah.
think, of Leftover Lasagne.
Correct.
Thank you for staying with us. We'll be back soon. As
Absolutely.
soon as Nitu stops moving around all over the place. Like Rahul Tripathi in the IPL at the crease
Yeah. On a reclining chair
on a reclining chair.
or on a standing seat in a turbulent flight. After having had one too many pieces of parotta with spicy gravy.
Spicy gravy. Not on your face. Until next time. This has been.
Thank you and bye bye.
Yeah, please have your Nisam Pak before you leave.
And watch some movies by Shri Bhagiraj.
Bye.
Ames.